Good morning, Year 4. Happy Friday. Please find a fresh page in your book and write down the LO and date. It's Friday the 22nd of January 2020 and the LO is to complete and check a biography of Tutankhamun. Just pause this while you're writing that down. Right, yesterday I asked you to do an independent task. Sorry about this machine making noise in the background. I asked you to write the bit of the biography that will have the subheading, "The Boy Becomes King," and you had to underline the subheading, include an introductory sentence or two, and have a subheading for facts with bullet point information underneath. And you were supposed to use your notes, or you could have used my notes. So hopefully you've completed that, and now we're going to check or compare what we did. So let's have a look at my version. Right, the boy becomes king. Right, so I've got my subheading. I'm getting my green pen out now. I've got my subheading and I have underlined it. Tick. Right, although we don't know exactly why, by the time he was 9, most of Tut's family were dead. There's a couple of things wrong with that sentence. I wonder if you can spot them. Although we don't exactly why, although we don't know exactly why, by the time he was 9, there's a comma missing. Although we don't know exactly why, comma, by the time he was 9, most of Tut's family were dead. Right, we also need a possessive apostrophe. It was Tut's family, so we need to point to him and put an apostrophe there. That's a possessive apostrophe. Okay. He became king with his guardian vizier eye making the important decisions. Some of you might have spotted, which I have just done, a spelling mistake in there. So it's one of your words that we test you on. I shouldn't have got that wrong. It's guardian with a U. There we go. Okay, so I've got facts, I've underlined it and I've put a colon in. That's what you should have done. If you didn't do that, then make your correction. He married his half-sister Ankehezenum. Ew! The couple's 2 babies died. Tut's full name changed from Tutankhamet to Tutankhamun when the god Amun was reinstated. Okay, so I've got 3 good bits of information in there. Hopefully you've spotted though that I missed out my bullet points. So I'm putting those in. And there's a few other mistakes as well we've just seen. Okay. So he married his half-sister Ankehezenum, which I'm never going to be able to pronounce. I do apologise. Ew! Is that appropriate? I don't think it is. I think that's too casual for this piece of writing. So I'm going to take that out. And also I've forgotten a full stop, so I'm going to put that in. There it is. Okay, now the couple's 2 babies died. Doesn't really make sense. We're missing some punctuation. First of all, I can see I've missed out my capital letter, so I'll put that in. The couple's 2 babies. Okay, so the 2 babies belonged to the couple, so there's a possessive apostrophe missing. So if the couple were the owners, I need to point to that. There we go, it goes there. Tut's full name. Okay, again, we need a possessive apostrophe. Whose full name was it? It was Tut's. Tut is the owner of the full name, so I need to point to him with a possessive apostrophe. Tut's full name changed from oh my god. I think that's okay, and I'm quite pleased with myself as well because I've used one of the words from the glossary, reinstated, which means the god got his job back. Okay, go through your work and check it, please, preferably with a green pen, just the same way I've done mine. It's always good to see you making corrections, especially with spellings and punctuation. So pause this and have a look at your own work and make your corrections now. Alright, I made lots of notes. We said it was about 20 and we've used quite a few of them, but some of them we decided not to use. So we've gone through the bits where we talked about his father, so we don't need those anymore. We've gone through the early life. And now we've gone through the bit where he was made king. He married his half-sister, his name changed, and they lost their babies. And Vizier I was making the decisions, all that we've used. Right, now we're on to this bit. We don't have much information here for our final part. We've got Tut had poor health. He died aged 18 or 19, nobody knows why. He may have been murdered or died of natural causes. And there was a big mystery about where his tomb was. So we're going to have to use those bits of information to make an interesting biography. I think we might be able to spice up the idea of the mystery a bit here. So that's the information we've got to go on. There's also other things we might remember about who might have murdered him. Do you remember there were a couple of people, Vizier I and the general of the army, who had something to gain from killing Tutankhamun? So let's move on to that section now. So I'm just checking where you are. You should have a section that we did together on King Akhenaten. You should have early life of the prince done. Again, we did that together. You should have independently done the boy that becomes king, and you should have checked that just now. Now we're here, mysterious death. This is going to be our subheading then, the mysterious death. So you could write that down now. A subheading needs to be at the side of the page. It needs to be underlined. Okay, on this part, because we want to emphasize the fact that there's a big mystery about why King Tutankhamun died, I want us to try and use a skill that writers use to intrigue and hook in their readers. So you get this in newspapers, you get it in mystery books, and this is the skill of using questions to get the reader really interested. So instead of just saying it's a mystery and talking about the facts, this is our time to start asking some rhetorical questions. These are questions that make you think, but they don't necessarily need an answer. So let's have a look at some examples. Will Egyptologists ever solve the mystery of Tutankhamun's death? King Tutankhamun died at just 18 to 19 years old. Why? Could Vizier I have killed him off to remain in power? We know that Tut had poor health, but he would have had the best doctors. So why did he die aged 18 or 19? I want you to think about which question you like the best, which one makes you think. And I want you to also pause this and add in at least one question of your own. So something similar to this, but not exactly the same. At least one question of your own. Pause the video while you're doing that. Right, let's have a look at, just get a quick reminder from the book about these two suspicious characters who may have had something to gain from King Tutankhamun's death. I think that maybe when he was becoming an adult, Vizier I, this guy, felt that that was a threat, but nobody knows for sure. So you've got the fact that Tutankhamun was in poor health. Apparently he had a club foot and walked with a stick, and they found lots of walking sticks in his tomb. That's how Egyptologists know about that. They've also studied his body, and they can tell that he wasn't very healthy. But he would have had great doctors, he would have had people taking care of him, so it's very strange that he died at just 18 or 19 years old. Okay, so I want you to read through this information, think about the mystery, and try and get that into your last bit of the biography. Okay, so you've got the information here. You can rewind through the video. Again, you can go back to the green page to find all the notes that we took if you don't have your own. You can use the information here and pause and read this. You can go back and look at how we're supposed to set out the biography with the bullet points and the subheadings. So go back and forward in the video as much as you need to, but for now let's just finally look at the task that you need to do today. Right, so the task for today is to complete your biography of Tutankhamun. with the subheading The Mysterious Death. Remember to underline the subheading and include an introductory sentence or two. So you can go back and look at your notes or look at my notes on the bit with the green background to get the information you need. Have a subheading for facts with a colon showing that you're going to do a list and some bullet point information from your notes underneath. If you're going to really push yourself, go for the spicier work, which is to use a question to hook in your reader. Now, I gave you some examples of questions. You should have written one or two down yourself. Choose the one that you think is the most intriguing. You could probably use that in your introductory sentence and then put the facts in bullet points underneath. Check all your work carefully, preferably using a green pen, not just today's work, but the bits you've done previously, so that the whole biography is checked. It's got 4 parts. Finally, it would be lovely if you would add pictures that you found online, pictures that are relevant to Tutankhamun. There are some impressions of what he might have looked like. There's lots of statues and beautiful artifacts you could copy. Well done on this week's work on Tutankhamun, and I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I will talk to you next week. If you can, send in photos of your work. I'd love to see them. Take care. Bye.